howlers.
Welcome, everybody, to Fade to Obsidian, your Red Rising podcast about spaceships, relationships, and death. So much death.
All the death.
All the death. I am Skipper, joined as always by Crescent, and rejoined by Black Hole. Welcome back.
Thanks for coming back.
Thanks for joining us tonight, not to talk about your art, which, if people don't know, you are Book and Box Co., but to talk Golden Sun and to actually get into some of the books, which will be exciting.
I'm really excited.
Yeah. I will give the disclaimer now because I was about to say what death we're talking about, but we'll give the disclaimer that we are definitely doing Golden Sun spoilers this evening. So if you have not read Golden Sun, go do that because we're talking about Nero and the very
Arch Governor Fuckface.
Yeah.
Yep.
And we will possibly have spoilers all the way till Lightbringer. So if people have not read Lightbringer, tread warily or go read Lightbringer and then come back. So there's everybody's warning for the night. But before we jump into it, what are you drinking tonight, Black Hole?
I got my little liquid death. It's I think this is the green guillotine. It's green tea, agave, and vitamins. But then for my alcoholic beverage,
Ooh.
I have got from Launchpad Brewery. It is a Czech Pilsner called All Systems Check.
Nice. It looks beautiful. It's got like northern lights on it.
Yeah, they're like full space themed for the brewery, so they've got like all of it all the way around, including like their normal logo and stuff. So, but
We
yeah,
will have
love
to go check it out. Yeah, we're gonna have to make a visit. Space themed.
Yeah,
We're
yep.
there. I like
Oh
it.
yeah.
Crescent, what are you drinking?
I'm drinking Nitro Death Stone Fruit Sour.
Slightly
Right.
different than
It's
liquid
nitrogen
death.
infused.
Ooh.
It doesn't pour like a Guinness though, which is annoying.
Oh, they didn't put the bauble thing in.
There's no widget in it.
No widget. That sounds tasty though.
It is
I
really good.
have headstock because I figured
Nice.
Nero heads in boxes. I mean, his head doesn't end up in a box, but he put somebody else's head in a box. So that was my inspiration.
That's
what I'm
perfect.
going with, right? Yeah. But yeah, we're talking Nero, who is one of, I don't know, a more satisfying death than some of the other ones we've done. We just covered Lorne and Fitchner, who dies in the same scene as him. And Nero, it feels like, is the one that you're like, that's fine. He can die.
Yeah, we've been wanting this for 2 books.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly right.
This felt earned.
Yeah. So to kick us off, what are our thoughts on Nero before his death? so great.
I would say like my big thoughts on Nero would have been he is like an impactful character in the series because of the fact that it's like who his children are is what we experience. But I think because of like I don't know for anyone who's like listened to the Audible or even like the trailer for Red Rising is the Audible, Nero's voice is the like almost very first thing you hear. It's like the not all men are created equal. That's like literally just him at the beginning, and it's like his impactful words to the Gold Children is what's like shaping the book as being like, oh, what the fuck am I jumping into, kind of thing. So I thought him as a character was impactful, but his death, yeah, it's oddly satisfying because of the Jackal. I was like, ooh.
Yeah, absolutely. Crescent thoughts?
Just broad strokes. He thinks he's so good, and he thinks he's all for humanity, which is like fuck that guy entirely. Like, oh, the number doesn't matter. I would like to disagree disrespectfully. The number probably does matter. You probably should not be committing genocide just to make sure that the human race propagates.
Yeah.
Seems problematic to me.
Yeah. He's definitely one of the more complicated of the whole series for like not him as a character. I think he is very straightforward in like he is who he is. He's, you know, Lauren is the one I think who calls out of like you get rid of Octavia and you're going to put Nero, like he's just as bad. He just is who he is. But us as the reader, like you start by hating the guy cuz he's who kills Io. Like we can't have an entire series of books if he does not be the one to kill Io, and you hate him for all of Red Rising. But then Golden Sun, you're like, well, we kind of need him in order to manipulate everybody else. Like, it's a really back and forth. And then you're sitting there going, okay, but I also really like his daughter, but I hate his son. Like, it's so much the different facets of him that, like, it's really interesting of we wouldn't have any of this series. We wouldn't have Io, we wouldn't have Mustang, but at the same time, like, I don't know, he's almost like a blah character that you're like, "Oh, yeah, he's here. Oh, yeah, he's dead." Like, it's
It's like
just
he does like the
bizarre.
behind the scenes work.
Yes.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I feel like he was like
Absolutely.
almost the puppet master for everything of this is like I accidentally created this of the jackal and I accidentally like discarded my daughter Mustang for being like what am I going to do with my kids and then my wife dies and so I have adopted who god why am I can't I think of
Leto.
who
You know,
Leto.
yeah so cuz yeah he adopts him and it's like the false son's death is more important to him than anything that's going on for his actual kids. And I'm like,
Yeah.
mhm.
this guy is so messed up.
Yeah,
It's like you don't even care about your own flesh and blood. You're just discarding them. But it gives me like a weird throwback to like a scene in Harry Potter in the second one in Chamber of Secrets in the movie. Uh, Draco winds up like gets knocked off his broom and they're at the Quidditch match, and um, Lucius is just like, I don't care. I'm too good for this. Nobody saw that, or like he's not mine, kind of thing. That's like the look of his face. I'm like, that's what, every time I see or hear about Nero in the books, like it's that face of,
Yeah.
and he's got the blonde hair, which makes it kind of close to golden. So I'm like, it great reference for who I think in my mind is that's Nero. That's his attitude. He's an asshole.
Mhm.
That's a great connection. Yeah.
Yeah. I always think of him as Charles Dance as
I was
Tywin
gonna say,
Lannister.
and I don't know
Uh,
if I think of that because you've told me that you think of that, but now, like, rereading it, I'm like, "Oh, it's Charles Dance," but I'm like, "Did Crescent put that there? When did I
yeah,
start thinking of Charles
Inception.
Dance?" Yeah.
I'm gonna like look that up just like have it like fresh in my mind.
Um, Game of Thrones, right?
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, he
I mean,
definitely
he's yeah, he gives me the vibe of like that's who I would love to see play the character. Like put some makeup on him, make him look younger, pretty, blah
yeah.
a little bit
Mhm.
blah blah blah. But yeah, him in Game of Thrones was like almost like a perfect lineup with that. That's a great reference for him
Yeah.
too.
Well, and just, like, his sternness of it and, like, as you say, of,
Mhm.
like, not caring about his children or what's happening, and he just needs the world to keep turning in the way that, like, it is, like,
Yeah,
needs
it's
it all to
everything's
go
got to
his way.
be exactly his way,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and there can't be anything against his family. Like
Mhm.
everything's got to go their way.
Yeah.
It kind of gives me like a almost like an Elon Musk kind of vibe because he's trying to do stuff for like a betterment of society. And like I want to
Yeah.
know if you guys have this thought process too for like what struck me was when Nero is talking about the advancement of society and how we can keep going and pushing humanity further into the stars, I agree with that. And that was the one point of like, maybe I should like this guy, but then
Yeah.
there's so much other stuff that it's like the one positive to all these negative things. Did you guys kind of get that same feeling, I guess?
Yeah, I would say
Yeah.
for sure. Yeah. That it's hard of, well, as we keep saying, like, he thinks he's better than Octavia. He thinks he can
Yes.
do everything. And it's like, no, man, to compare it to Elon Musk, you're just another billionaire. You're not actually going to change unless you manage to, which neither of them do, put it on their, you know, heads and donate
Yeah.
all their money. Eat the
All you
rich.
Yeah.
are is good with a sword, good at telling people what
Yeah.
to do, and stealing the labor of billions.
Is
That,
Nero
yeah,
even good with the sword, or is he just
He is,
manipulative?
yeah. He
Oh,
kills
okay.
yeah.
the Hearth Knight, possibly one other,
Cause like,
when he gets ambushed at the dockyards.
oh, okay. Cause I always saw him as like everyone else kind of does his dirty work, and he's just really good at manipulating. I mean, he gets the telemanus. We know that he has strong families behind him, but you know, he I guess, in defense almost of the telemanus is who there's no good family to go for. Like, who are you gonna be? The
Yeah.
Augustus, the Bologna, or the Loon? Like, what? Those are your
Okay,
choices
so
here.
yeah, so he
Okay.
he cuts down 12 Greys, kills the Hearth Knight, and then Cassius and Fitchner show up,
Mm,
and that was it. That's it. Yeah, it's over after that.
yeah.
So I mean, he's okay, but he's no Cassius.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No Darrow. No Aja. Yeah.
No.
No.
Yeah.
Honestly, I don't know if he would even like compete against Cassius for being a better Razor Master, but like I would still say he is up there as far as one of the better ones in the society, probably.
Oh, I have to imagine.
Yeah.
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 If only
Uh,
it hit that Cassius's line of thought, that would have been better. Like, don't be that person because it's like if you have the ability to do like the manipulation, but if you can do it for a positive good as like overall and not be a jerk, you can accomplish what you were trying to do and everything for your goals. Uh,
yeah, 100%, which I would almost argue is what Mustang does. Like, she has
Yep.
that, you don't want to call it manipulative, but networking, like, it's all the same. It's two sides of the same coin, manipulating and networking, and how you do this. And she has his politics side. Like, she knows how to work that, but we're okay when Mustang does it because she's doing it for the actual betterment of society in comparison to, like, he's just doing it to stay on top. Um, but yeah, I would, say that, yeah, he could use his abilities for good, and
yeah,
Mustang does because she had to learn it from somewhere.
Yeah.
Um,
Mustang is being manipulative, but Nero is manipulative derogatory.
yes,
yes. Yes. As I say, it's like manipulative versus like almost networking, right? Like when you're networking somebody and you're like, how do I use you to my advantage is really what
Hmm.
you're doing. It's like,
Yep.
that's what she does, but everyone's like, oh no, she's great. It's fine. I'll
I
work
really
with
do
her.
like. Yeah, I really like this dynamic that Pierce created with like the three of them for Nero, Jackal, and Mustang. It's like you see Nero as for what he is, as like that overbearing father, or the father just doesn't give a shit depending on what you do. He is that manipulative person, but then you get to see his personality split between Mustang and the Jackal because Mustang gets the good
Yeah.
traits of that. positive betterment manipulation for good, but then the jackal gets like the dude. I'm gonna just like I want to control everything. That's what I want. So it's like you see that everything get funneled into there, but then he makes his own mistake of abandoning that kid to drive him insane. I was like, dude, that's heavy.
Yeah. And interesting because, I mean, if we're taking the nature versus nurture and the two of them, this being, we know it's not nurture, so it's going to be nature. The interesting thing with that is, yeah, he fully rejects what Jackal does, and like everything along the lines. But is Nero actually that much better when we know that his first wife he married for the sole purpose of like revenge, essentially, to cut her
Yeah,
head?
sending
Like,
a message. Yeah, fucking
Yeah,
Christ.
is that actually less psychotic than having to resort to cannibalism because you're stuck in a mountain? Like, I would
No,
almost
it's
argue,
decidedly way more psychotic.
yeah.
yeah.
Like, one
It's
is planned, like, I mean, the jackal we know is later psychotic, but
Hmm.
Nero in that moment is, I think, worse than the things that the jackal does. But he can spin it in this way better way of like, well, I didn't
yeah.
eat human
I
flesh.
think that's very true. For me, I would say I think it's better to the point because if he's way worse at that point for everything that the Jackal does up to the point where Nero dies.
Mm,
Because
okay.
once Nero dies, it's like because it is the Jackal that finally finishes him off, shoots him, and honestly, that the death itself is so it feels so cold hearted but honestly like
Hmm.
freeing because if you take it in that like if I was the jackal in that situation, this dude has been oppressive to me my entire life, has never shown me love, has been that person of torture for me essentially
Yeah.
emotionally. That would be very freeing in that
Hmm.
moment, and then it's like okay now my insanity like just snapped and it made me worse because then he goes
Yes.
into the point of like I can nuke places and everything, and I can create abomination.
Well, and the
And it's
torture of Darrow, I would say, is definitely worse than
oh
just
Hmm.
putting
Oh
somebody
yeah.
out of their misery of let's put somebody in a box for what is it, 9 months? Like,
Yep.
that seems,
that's
Yeah, he
wild.
interrogates him
and
and
not
tortures him for 3 months and then puts him in the box for 9.
so,
Yeah,
and not even like, oh yeah, he's like in a cage in the basement. It's we're eating dinner on his imprison.
Yeah,
Like,
that is next level fucked up.
yeah,
Remind me to never piss Pierce off.
dude. After the creative things he's done, like even the Blood Eagle, I was like, yeah, I so many things that he's done. I'm like, ooh, okay,
To be fair, the Blood Eagle has basis in
true.
reality and and
mm,
in practice. Like Pierce didn't come up with that, but fuck, did he put it to good use?
Yeah,
yeah,
but yeah,
yeah,
the scenes of these things that's like because it feels weird that like Nero's death feels so quick and just like you're cutting a thread and it's just oh, we're done with him. We don't have to have him anymore.
yeah.
But I feel like the things that evolve because of his death, like oh, that is my lovely 3D printer. Sorry. The things that evolve because of his death throughout the series, I feel like his death becomes one of the weirdly impactful ones that you don't think about
Mm,
because of the manifestation of other things. Because
okay.
it's like there's almost like no one is in that seat of Augustus to really kind of check everybody else because shit just goes nuts after the gala.
Yeah,
So it's like that happens, and then it's like you have his death, and it's like then the Jackal's now free of everything, and then you have so many other deaths in that book that it's like you. It's the full breakdown of like what the natural order was already established that creates this like chaos to ensue.
yeah, yeah. Absolutely. Well, and it's as you say, you almost the impact he has is so behind the scenes. Like we were talking about him earlier, of everything is behind the scenes with him, but he does have this echoing um thing that's occurring because of what he was the catalyst for, which is interesting.
Yeah.
Well, and so behind the scenes, we were talking just before we hit recording on the numbers, and this feels like a good place to bring it up. Of Crescent, you want to give us those numbers of how many times the word Nero is said?
Yeah, what did we have? 5 in the first book. This is just Nero. This isn't
This, yes.
Archgovernor.
And
Um,
I was gonna say
just
that
specifically Nero.
just Nero. In the first book, I'm surprised how low that is, but it's probably because Darrow would be calling him at that point Augustus and Arch Governor and like
Yeah.
that guy who killed my wife. Because there's definitely a lot of anger that Darrow has in that
Yes.
first book. But yeah. All right,
Yeah.
Golden Sun.
So I think we had 5 in Red Rising.
Yeah.
And then we had 24 in Golden Sun.
Yeah. Which feels about right because he has a lot of screen
Yeah.
time. Like,
Yeah.
it's a lot of we got to move him. Yeah.
Yeah. Honestly, like I'm surprised it's not more considering it's like he's got attributed dialogue.
But
Um,
again, at that stage, I think Darrow would still be calling him Augustus sometimes. Other people
mhm.
would,
Yeah.
right? Like he
Yeah,
has other
absolutely.
names.
Yeah, the arch governor.
Arch Governor.
Yeah, I think that's.
Yeah.
Did anyone refer to him as the lion or no?
I don't know.
I'm certain that they do.
Because I feel like that might have also been something that was stated of
Yeah.
because it's like the lion's guard kind of
Yeah.
thing, same thing with Mustang, but I feel like that he would have been like more of stated is stated in multiple ways. So I feel like that it would probably be double,
It's
if not
yeah.
triple.
Yeah. I know Mustang is referred to as the lion.
Mhm.
I'm certain that Nero would be as well.
Mhm.
He is twice in Morningstar. I thought it was 3 times, but it's not. It's
It's
twice.
twice. So that is
Twice.
surprising to me because at that point you would expect, and I mean again, maybe Mustang is saying like my father, but you would think at some point someone would bring up because now Mustang and the Jackal are using kind of the term like no one's gonna be like, well,
Hmm.
Augustus. It's like, well, that's two other people. That yeah, Nero being two, that feels really low. It's like he died and they're like, all right, we're moving on.
Yeah, fuck it.
We don't
Yeah,
need him.
I mean, like Adrius absolutely did.
Yeah.
That was his vibe for sure. We had 15 in Dark Age and 9 in Lightbringer.
And none in Iron Gold.
None in Iron Gold. Yeah.
0 in Iron Gold.
I like to think of the Iron
Um,
Gold like having no reference though, is because you're you're seeing the perspective from like that's Pierce's first time doing multi-perspective things, so I feel
Yeah.
like it's not enough detail to get into some of the small things of like past characters in that aspect because it's like you're trying to introduce more characters into the series, so it's
Yep.
like that being the behind the scenes works. I feel like it might be something. It's like that just you kind of get where that's coming from, and he doesn't have to reference that, you know.
For sure. And I think the POVs that are brought in, they're not, I mean, Lysander's not really going to care about Nero as much as he's so focused on Octavia, but then Lyria and Ephraim have had their lives kind of screwed up because of both of them, but especially in case like Ephraim's gonna have a little bit more insight being
yeah.
closer in that realm, but I'm sure Lyria, like when they don't have the education, they don't have the know-how. You don't necessarily know who you're blaming or where the power struggle holds, so she probably looks at it more of like I bet you she references Octavia sometimes of like, well, Octavia's gone and now the Reaper has come and wouldn't necessarily be like, oh yeah, Nero's gone as well. Like that's so outside of her realm. That outside like as you say, like why would
Yeah.
it if it does affect Lyria, she might not actually know why he particularly does because she's gonna get that like whatever the golds are fighting. Like that's what it is. And Octavia
Hmm.
was the bigger gold, so to speak, than Nero.
Yeah, because I feel
So
like because when they have the the feeds, the video feeds and everything, it's literally you hear Octavia's voice saying
Yeah.
about everything. It's not even Nero's. He's like over Mars, but he's the one that's like sent down to pass judgment for these things because he's the in control person. So it's like I feel like even as a red on Mars, connection to him may be kind of fleeting because it's not
Yeah.
to the point of like, have you directly seen him in this aspect, like how Darrow saw with Io?
Yeah.
Did that happen where the golden god came down to pass judgment thing? How many clans that actually happened for? Or did he send someone else
Yeah.
under his command to do that? So I feel like that could also be a part of it. It's like maybe she doesn't actually understand who Augustus was.
Right. Yeah,
Or,
absolutely. And then Dark Age, I mean, having 15, you get not quite the children back together because it's the abomination. But at that point, Virginia is going to be more reflective with, and does Virginia have a POV in Iron? No, she doesn't in Iron Gold. She gets it in Dark Age as her first
yeah.
POV. So she would be the one who, if anything, and she probably even then wouldn't say Nero, it would be my father.
Mhm.
But it would be at least, when talking to other people, probably say it, and then talking to Abomination, or in some of those in passing, like you get more of that, and that's more in Dark Age that you you get those childhood connections. Um,
Yeah, a lot of the mentions are actually Cicero talking to
oh,
Lysander. The
Mm.
story about
interesting.
the story about Nero chasing down the gazelle.
Hmm.
A gazelle
Makes
has to
sense.
stop and drink their water. I carry mine.
Fucking
Yeah.
asshole.
Humans persistence hunting. Crazy
Uh,
shit.
Yeah.
his like whole point of view of Dad as being like I'm the better person is just it's wild because you want to help society, you can't just say like I'm better, therefore I help. It's like I'm not better, so I'm gonna help. It's like I you can be a guide, yes, for sure. You can be that person of influence, but to just be like I'm superior, like that's a stupid thing. So that
Yeah.
that
Mhm.
story it like kind of pissed me off a little bit because I was like, who is this guy again? Like why is he back?
Yeah. But I feel like that's most of the stories we know about Nero, right?
Yeah.
Like, even his wedding day, it's like, who do you think you are? Like, why?
Yeah, who acts this way? Who raised you?
Okay, yeah,
Who?
that's the story I want. I want Nero's dad. I want that story. Pierce,
Do
make it
we
happen, please.
do we know? Like, we know that they're one of the like strong families, but do we know like anything about his father in the same way we get kind of the Cassie, like the Bologna, we kind of a little bit get there. And obviously the Loon, we know Octavia, like, but yeah, we don't really know anything about Nero and how interesting. How were you raised? How did you end up so fucked up that you think that's a good way to be a father? Like,
Probably
Yeah.
much the same way.
that's true. Yeah.
Generational trauma.
Oh,
I was gonna say, I think it's probably that with the generational trauma because it's like I would take it back to like our society right now being like how so like my dad for reference is a baby boomer. He was born in 49. I'm the baby of my family. I'm born in
okay.
1990. I have an older brother who's 50, but there's like weird things I see in him that his dad taught him that he's tried to
Mm,
pass on to me, but I'm like I'm the millennial. I see these things and I'm like
yeah.
I'm doing this, but I'm trying to change it. So it's like maybe Nero just kind of accepted that fate and was like, I'm doing the same thing as like what he did. So same as what we see in our society,
Yeah.
trying to pass down those what you think are I guess good values and good morals, and they're not.
Yep.
So
Yeah. That's a great point. Yeah. And the only reason Mustang then breaks the cycle is because of the Telemanus, right?
oh
That
yeah,
she's like,
Yep.
I
Yeah,
actually have
100%.
a strong support,
Yeah, I
stable.
go to therapy. It's
Yeah.
called dinner every night.
Right?
uh,
Like, Kavix hugs me, guys. Like,
That's
oh,
Kavix
all
knows
it
how to hug
took.
it.
do we know if Nero was like an only child too?
I don't know.
That might be something that's kind of interesting in that aspect. Because with the Telemanos family, like you get to see the camaraderie between them as
Oh,
far as
he
how
is
much
not.
family means. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Yeah,
he's
he's
not in
not.
a.
He's
No,
not.
no, because
Okay.
there's a scene in, it's like chapter 15 of Golden Sun where
Mm.
Mustang's aunt is like slapping her children to get them
Oh,
to stop crying.
they're just all raised horribly then. Jeez.
Wow. Also, where's his third wife? Like, the first one's dead in a box. The second one,
Mhm.
the children's mother, is dead. But is he not remarried for a third time? Like, where is Mustang's
Yes, he
stepmom?
is.
Where is she?
Doing Real Housewives of Aegea shit.
Is she still alive by Lightbringer, just hiding somewhere? She's like fucked off to Pluto? Like, where is
Honestly,
she?
I kind of want to make a Housewives of Aegea sticker now. That was really fun. Oh, that's good.
Yeah, I like that. She's just calling Julia Bologna every week going, how did I get into this? How, right? And they're having like the
Yeah.
catty wine fights of like, your husband. Listen, how did we get
Your
here?
stepdaughter's husband
Yeah.
killed my son.
Yeah, these are the battles they're having on their
Yeah.
reality TV show. Housewives of Aegea. I like it.
Yeah. I really think it's just like nuts to see like how fucked up like one person can be, and then to create like either someone like so good like Mustang out of that as their offspring, but then you have someone who's like so insane, like well now the Abomination. But I'm really thinking as far as like as I had this weird theory in my head as after I finished Lightbringer, being like we didn't talk that much about the Abomination.
Right.
How much of an impact is this crazy motherfucker gonna have in Red God? As I'm also
Oh,
like
yeah.
almost being like the I don't want to say raid boss, but being that kind of like, hey, this is the big guy. Like you downplayed him for thinking like, oh, it was all these other things. Like what we're thinking is Lysander, but it's like you don't see the really crazy stuff that like has been put in place with him. And I want to be like, is Nero's torturous like or I guess his way of bringing gonna like pass on because the Abomination has the memories and everything.
Yeah.
So it's like, how is that gonna play into this?
That's a great point. Are we going to see more
Yeah,
heads in boxes?
Yeah, that oof, I don't know,
we're gonna
maybe.
see more cannibalism.
Ah,
He's gonna have to get a taste for it. He's got to be the real Adrius.
ah. I
Please
don't
no.
like that.
Put the
I don't
counter
like
back to
that.
0.
Yeah,
Yeah. Cannibalism mentioned. Yeah, that's a really good point, though. I mean, where are we going with Abomination,
yeah.
and what has been set up for this?
Hmm.
Because I mean, again, if we take it back and you're gonna follow, and I hate plot breaking, I never theorize, but now you've got me thinking of just
All right.
it's fine. I'll put my literature
Every
brain
time she
on.
does, she puts out really, really fucking unhinged ones.
I do. No, but like looking at just story structure, and if Nero is our baddie who started this all,
Mhm.
should he not be the person or have the impact that ends it all, right? If he is who has killed Io and caused this society, then either it has to be that somehow his impact ends it all, but that could just be Mustang somehow completing, quote unquote, her, I don't know, not completing it in the way he thinks, but his work of bringing it around in a manner. But yes, in theory, Nero started this. So how are we going to see the end to create that completed story? I didn't even see, I don't think of these things. This is why I don't like theorizing, because then I get too into it. And I'm like, but the foreshadowing, the foreshadowing.
I'm sorry, I'm a
Yeah.
scientist, and I
Yeah.
all I do is theorize on stuff. I have to do that. So like when I get comes to the readings, especially, I'm like, this is something that is you could take it this way. Oh,
Yeah.
but then it's like that might not be the greatest. And then I'm like, well, but there's this other path
Yeah.
and the same thing because I was thinking, yeah, it's like he's the one who started it. Why wouldn't like his offspring and the things that he's done to create these villains, like because I always say like he's a villain, like just he's the villain here, but then like the Abomination and the Jackal are up here as super villains, like they're doing the really messed up shit. So it's yeah, how that impact is gonna like lead to maybe the
Yeah.
like, I don't know.
Yeah. Unless Mustang can just hug the Abomination enough to bring him that the two of them together undo what their father has done. They team up against Lilith to bring down
Yeah,
By our
Lysander.
powers combined,
That's
I,
exactly what
we'll
I'm
be
thinking. The
healed.
twins come
I,
together. This is
I'm
a
just thinking,
story about twins at all times.
with
As
your
we see
hugging thing, like of
twins.
her just going up and being like trying to
So
hug. He's
cute.
like, what are you doing? What are you doing? Like backing up and like, yeah.
He's probably never been hugged in his entire life. Aw. Poor
I still think like
Unless Lilith tried to hug him, but that'd be just like so weird.
But she's his mother. Like, ugh, I don't like thinking of that.
that's like the weirdest situation between him and Lilith of being like
Yeah.
she had this weird like such deep passionate love for him and then now it's like how can I be of service to you almost like a more fucked up Harley Quinn to the Joker
Yes.
Oh,
um
yeah.
and that's just like because yeah you're now spawning his like
It's fucked up. That's just like
It's
yeah
just,
all the
yeah.
way fucked.
wow so I don't think that the Harley Quinn would ever do well maybe I don't know but probably want want the Joker's offspring not like clone.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah.
I
It's
don't
all a little, I don't know.
but
Now I have just a bad taste in my mouth.
sorry.
Drink more
It's
beer.
fine.
Yeah, there you
Will.
go.
Mine's gone. I'll just
Yeah.
have to live with it.
But yeah, Nero as, I don't know, he's one of the most interesting characters without being interesting, is what I'm gonna say. Like, he's just there, but as you say, he's like the puppet master. He's pulling the strings. He's doing small things that I don't even know if he knows he's affecting them,
Yeah.
and causing them that long term, which is very interesting in comparison to, I think Octavia had more sights on this is what my future will be.
hmm
Obviously, Nero thought his future was going to be Leto. Rather,
Yeah.
that worked out so well. But
And then
Octavia,
Darrow.
and then Darrow, and then, yeah. Octavia is a little bit better of, I think, putting not all of her eggs in one basket. Like, she
Mhm.
does have the Furies. She does have, obviously, Lysander. Like, I think if Lysander had have died in Golden Sun, if, like, she'd have backups that she's like, yeah, okay.
That
Ajax
makes
would
sense.
show
It's
up.
like where it's that plays into Nero's personality as well. Like he wanted to be the one that does everything. It's not.
Yeah.
I don't need Furies to do this. I can defend myself. Blah blah blah. I have my like my smaller command that no one is like
Yeah.
as high you can get close kind of thing.
Yeah. And definitely not powerful golds. Like,
Yes.
keeping Pliny, who's basically a pixie,
Fuck
his
Lenny.
second hand in
Mhm.
comparison to, if we're gonna compare Pliny to the Furies, like, what?
Yeah. I honestly think like Plenty is my least favorite character throughout the entire series because it's just like how manipulative that guy is. It's just like he's like the worm in the ear of someone who's powerful. He just like kind of tells him what he wants to hear, but he's doing it in a way that's like I feel like making Nero worse. It's like Nero's
Yes.
already bad, and you're trying to make this dude way worse.
He's like Worm Tongue in Lord of the
Yeah,
Oh
Rings.
yes.
that's immediately I
Yep.
thought of too.
Absolutely.
Just that slimy, also going after the daughter slash niece.
Oh, yeah.
Like, just that, gonna play for power, however, and as you say, just whispering little gross, blah. I'm glad he got his eye out.
I kind of want to see
Yep.
if that's where Pierce got the reference for him, because honestly, like
Oh,
that makes sense to me, like because I'm like this sounds like this guy kind of thing.
yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. Pierce, is that a reference? Is that a reference, Pierce? How many
I
It
eyes
think
does
was.
Wormtongue have? I think he has both his eyes. Yeah, yeah,
yeah. That I didn't like that guy, but yeah, because his
yeah,
influence and like impacts really kind of made Nero, I think, make wrong choices for him as a person. Because it's like, yes, Nero is trying to do the thing of like he wants to stay in power. He was trying to do the thing of like, hey, disregard what my disgrace of a son, regardless of cannibalism, all that stuff. Disregard that. I've got Darrow now under my command,
yeah,
and you had the golden son right here. You had him, and then you let some like worm dude make you think that he's trying to like steal your power or shame your house or whatever. And so it's like you're that whole thing of none of this can affect me. I can't have like anything tarnish my record. I am perfect. I'm going to be this person of like greatness and power to lead our society. And then
yeah.
he just like, throws it away because he's threatened.
Well, and he's threatened by Mustang, right? Like we see how
Mm,
Pliny all the time is trying to downplay Mustang when it's like, get
yeah.
over it. Like she is right. I always think of her in the apple, and like, yes, she is rage baiting them a little bit in
Yeah.
that scene. But Pliny is like, oh my God, you're like disgraceful daughter over here. It's like, who's 10 times smarter and you know that, but you need
Yeah.
to like somehow get it so that she's not feeding into her father's ear.
Yeah.
You are. Yeah.
Which honestly, I'm kind of happy that happened because it not to say like seeing a father daughter relationship kind of get torn apart is a good thing, but seeing that separation that it created between them, I think helped out Mustang a lot
Yeah.
because like the character that Mustang becomes is honestly you see the development of her in general from like just schoolgirl starting off to being like, hey, I'm literally the smartest person in this game,
Yep.
which holy crap, I still get goosebumps thinking about that because I'm like, she literally won everything for them, and I'm like, that's great. But his whole like manipulation of his daughter and like trying to control her stops because of Plenty's like bad talk of her. And I'm like, I think that's great because now we get an amazing, strong character who she is doing things which is what her father wanted, but in a good way because she's like, I've got these attributes to do
Yeah.
these things. I have the access, the connections, everything. And now, like, when she moves on to become, why did I just lose my train of thought? What was Octavia's role?
Oh,
Sovereign.
Sovereign.
Yes, thank you. I was like, it starts with an S. I can't remember the word right now. But like when she becomes like takes that place, it's now you can see that full impact of her, which is the positive side of what Nero had for impact, and I think that that's actually it's nice to see because then it's like you had the separation at the proper moment to just be like, you know what, I'm better than this.
Yeah. I love it. Oh.
Mhm.
We are actually we're going to talk plenty with Harvest, who's going to come on and do all of what are we calling it? The,
Yeah.
the chaff. I keep wanting calling it chafe. That's not what it is. It's the chaff. And I'm excited to talk plenty and all of his sliminess, except for not. I don't actually want to talk that much about him
Mhm.
because he's gross. But
I
yeah.
think Plenty's annoying like chafing though. I mean,
Yeah,
Mhm.
he's definitely a chafe on society. I'm going to call him that.
that's
That's what
Yep.
it is. Yeah. But yeah, super interesting. All of this, which is great. Uh, but any last comments about Nero tonight? He's so difficult because it echoes. I'm
He's
just gonna.
well,
well, and he's just kind of he's the boring kind of bad.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it really is.
Like,
I was
he's
just
just
gonna say, like, oh,
he's just bad for propagation. Mm.
All right.
He doesn't want anything to change,
No.
except he wants his position to go up a little bit. But
Yeah.
yeah, that's free. I was just gonna say for anyone out there who is like thinking about having a family, don't be like Nero. That's just terrible.
No.
it's a good idea. Yeah.
Parenting 101. Don't do any of the things he did.
Yeah, that's terrible father.
Absolutely. But did give us
Possibly
Mustangs.
worse
So.
husband.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Worst husband of the galaxy.
Yeah. That's what we're calling this episode. Worst husband in the galaxy. I'm writing that one down. We keep trying to. The hard thing about this series is we have to say in the title, they have to be catchy, but it can't be a spoiler in the actual title. So I have to right? We keep every week I go to upload it. I'm like, what are we calling? Right? Like we couldn't call Lorne Old Stoneside. You'd know who that is. You can't call Fitchner Ares. So we're gonna call him Worst Father in the Galaxy. Because people will know. But it's not that much of a spoiler. People will be like, huh?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, but like worst father / husband in the galaxy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Cool.
I like it. I
Yeah.
like that a lot. Well, thank you for joining us, and you're welcome back anytime.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah.
Yeah, it might be
Thank you very
intermittent
much
because
for
of
coming.
school, but I'll try.
Yeah. Yeah. Good luck and with all your exams and everything, and
Thank you.
3D printing all of Dungeon Crawler Carl stuff. I'm excited to see what else.
It's just
Yeah, there's Mordecai.
little tiny one.
Happy DCC 8 to all who celebrate. Parade of Horribles out now. I don't know why I'm doing this advertisement like we have television shows.
Also, it came out like 4 weeks ago.
No, by the time this episode comes out, it'll only be one.
There you go.
This one comes out
Oh
the
yeah,
week
right.
after we're
Yeah.
recording. So
Wow.
it's the closest we're getting. So there you go. Everyone go. And then
Okay.
report back to us. But ask first if Crescent's finished. Because I have.
I think
I
it should
said
be
that
done in
on
the
our
next day or
Instagram.
two.
I was like, everyone give me updates. And then I immediately was like, oh shit. Crescent's also on this Instagram. Don't give me updates here. DM me on Discord. All of your thoughts. But yeah, anyway. Thank you so much for joining us. Thanks everybody for listening. If we have a Nero supporter listening to this, you need to reveal yourself. You might
Yep.
be worse than Lysander supporters.
Oh,
I'm just saying. I've never met a Nero apologist, and maybe I want to.
Yeah. Oh, I would like to see because how we said we had our picks for who Nero would be live cast as. I'd like to see some other people's opinions of that. Like, who is
Yes.
your big bad guy
I like
that
that.
you think is perfect?
Yeah. That's amazing.
Chuck them
I
in the
love it.
comments.
Drop them in the comments. All right. Thanks, everybody. Have a
Thanks,
good
everybody.
night.